was awful because we were in a terrible recession. This is always forgotten about Reagan. In 80 and 81, we went into it. People called it a depression at the time. Those of you who are old enough to remember might remember the things that were like the Farm Aid concerts. The celebrities were having Farm Aid concerts because we over 10% of our family farms were failing. Our factories were failing. Unemployment was approaching double digits. It was really ugly. And every time they would come to Reagan and they would say, Mr. President, March 30th, 1981, thank you. Thank you. Eric is Johnny on the spot this morning. Yeah, he was. John Hinckley was trying to impress Jodie Foster, which is Jesus Christ. Nutty is that nutty does. But anyway, John, poor guy, she was a lesbian on top of everything else. Anyway, um, he wasn't going to impress her, is all I'm saying. I like Jodie Foster. So the bottom line is that every time they'd ask Reagan, Mr. President, it's terrible, the farm, he'd always say the same thing. He'd say, well, we'll just stay the course. We'll just stay the course. And he did. And by the time 1982 came, things were turning the corner. And by the time his reelection came in 1984, he was reelected. He carried 49 states. The only state he didn't carry was Minnesota, the state where Walter Mondale, God bless him, came from. Poor guy was a sacrifice. He was a sacrifice on the altar of Reagan by the Democrats in that year. He was actually a pretty good man. Reagan was better, but Mondale was a good man. And anyway, to make a long story short, he was very popular.